the young generation cannot imagine what Poland was, a country in which there had been an enormous quantity of suffering, and suffering generates demand for revenge and hate and distrust. The most normal thing would have been, with the collapse of communism, a civil war. It did not take place. It did not take place because John Paul II called to respect, called always to dialogue, called to the dialogue with the conscience of the opponent, not to the distraction of the opponent, but the dialogue in order to find the path towards the common good. This was the first factor. This moral strength found political framework, and this was offered largely by the economic reforms. I wish to remember here, well, first of all, the name is Lech Wałęsa and Tadeusz Mazowiecki, and I like to remember my friend Bronisław Geremek. But we must make also the name of Leszek Balcerowicz. Millions of people were used to making their living, to earning their bread within a socialist framework. And all of a sudden these people were without an orientation, and with the danger of famine, the danger of being unable to construct their future. And there was almost a fanatical decision on the side of the government, and especially with Balcerowicz, in creating the framework of a free market economy. One could say that they went even too far, but the great fear was, shall we succeed? Once Balcerowicz told me, we are making an experiment that is unique in history. Everybody knows how to transform a pig into ham, but nobody has succeeded up to now in transforming ham into pigs. That was, you did. So you must consider this two elements. This fanatical decision, perhaps exaggerated on the one side, on the other side, the enormous moral strength that mobilized the energies towards construction and not towards revenge. I remember the time of the referendum here in Poland, and we were all worried because many people were worried. We are too weak. We cannot stand the competition with the Germans, the Italians, the Frenchmen, and so forth. But you could, and you have found the confidence in yourself. So it was a success. Europe was not made for money or for the economy. It was made for peace. Now we have a younger generation that thinks that peace is something that can be taken for granted. That's false. In human history, war is natural. Peace is the result of intelligent and generous efforts to create the framework of peace, to create the culture of peace, to create the economic conditions of peace, and so forth. Give me an Europe divided in different economic blocks, and within 20 to 50 years I give you one European war. And now what is happening in Ukraine brings this to our memory. So we must go back to the original political idea of Europe, not just a kind of living together to make money one on the other, but we want freedom and we want peace. The second consideration is that Europe is like a wonderful castle. But the construction of the castle, that is really beautiful, has not been completed. It rains in the rooms. And of course, when it rains within, everything is going to go down. We have to complete the construction. We need more solidarity of the rich countries with the less well-off countries. But can the rich countries give more solidarity if less well-to-do countries are allowed to spend money without control? No. You must control the finances of all European countries. You must have a common economic policy. And can you have this control through functionaries sent by Brussels? No. You must make the economy ministers of the countries responsible towards an European economy minister who has a democratic legitimation in a European government. But today we do not have that. And that's the reason why it was so difficult to find the proper way to support the countries in difficulty. We need political unity.